Hi, friends. Welcome in. I am Cheryl Wright. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Northeast Montana, and I am here to do a class with you using the Prairie Grass Stamp Set, and I am excited to share it with you. So be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let's have some fun making some great cards with the Prairie Grass Stamp Set. I chose this stamp set because I needed a quick class. Well, if you know me, you know it probably isn't going to be as quick as I would like it to be because I am getting ready to go on a trip and I am recording this. So you have something new to watch while I'm gone. So earlier this month, Stampin' Up! Launched the online exclusives, and there are many, many in here. If you would like a copy of this PDF, drop a comment and I will get it to you with your email. Otherwise, go to craftwithcheryl.com and you can, it's at the bottom of most of my emails, my large summary emails that I send out about once a week. It's at the bottom of that, and you can click on that and download it. Otherwise, the other thing that I have to share with you is I am doing a mystery craft box using the Lights of Aurora and the Light and Wonder stamp set. And it is available now, and go ahead and go to craftwithcheryl.com if you are interested in a fun mystery craft box. A craft box will contain 6 projects, mostly cards, all the products you need to create all the projects, plus extra product for you to make and have fun. And then there's some extra little gifts and prizes. If you're not sure what a mystery craft box is, go to my channel on YouTube or go to a previous video on my Facebook page, and I released what a mystery craft was when I showed my last one. So this is a sample of one of the cards that can be made with this. Now, this was my mystery stamping card from Tuesday night, but this is using that suite, and just how incredibly awesome these cards are going to look when we are finished. So there you have a little nibble. Craftwithcheryl.com if you are interested in that. So let's get started. This is a standalone stamp set. It is more leaning towards getting well, saying prayers, sympathy, that type of thing. So we're going to go with that because you always need those thinking of you and get well, and sadly sympathy cards also. I did this because it was going to be a quick one, right? Yeah, but you know me, it may not be quick, but we're going to start one place and then we're going to let it dry and then we'll go back to it. So we're going to start with a piece of watercolor paper. The watercolor paper that's Stampin' Up! I think this is the stuff we sold it at one point in this packaging. I don't know if it's in the same packaging or if this is just left over from what I had before, but this is watercolor paper. We do have water painters, or you can use any brush. The water painters, I think, are currently on back order, of course, because I wanted to try this. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to create a background. So this is just the bigger brush. Our water painters come in 3 brushes, and I think they'll be back in stock later this month. So I'm just going to dampen the whole paper. The paper is 3.5 by 5, I believe. And I'm just going to get a little bit of paper, a little bit of water down on my paper. And then I'm going to add some color. Now, the easiest way for me to add color, I lost a color. I'm going to use Misty Moonlight. And the easiest way to add some color is just to take a block, and there you go. And get some color, add some water to your brush as you go. I should probably, no, I got enough. And I want just a light watercolor wash look. So this is, if it got too dark, just add a little more water. If you want to add more color, add more color. And since I don't want it to all look like I'm coming from the same side, I'm going to go from the other side. My water is not squeezing well. Come on, water, squeeze well before my paint dries. All right, so I'm going to give it a little bit of a look down here also. But what I'm going to do is grab a different color. I don't need that open anyway. So I'm going to take some strawberry slush. And with this one, I'm not going, with these older cases, you can kind of do the smoosh method. So that's another method. So I'm smooshing, and I just haven't done it as much on my new cases as my old ones. So since this is water-based, I don't want to get that in there. So since it's water-based, if I add water to it, it's not going to do any damage. So I'm just wiping this off quickly. I'm going to pick up some water. And since I made this, I had water on this paper. Ooh, that's a little darker than I was thinking. I don't know why my water is not coming out. I'm going to make a puddle over here. That will help. Okay, there. Now I can get some water, and I do want them to blend together. All right, and I can go to my blue block and get a little bit more and blend it. I'm trying to make a sunrise or a sunset. So I'm now going to take a little bit of the Timid Tiger. And this is a newer case, so I haven't done the squish yet. So I'm going to do the block method and grab some of that and just blend it all together, because you know how sunsets, sunrises, just kind of, the sky just blends. And then I want just a little bit lighter orange. So I've got my peach pie out also. And I'm going to just get my peach pie and give it the full effect. And I'm sure you've seen why why I did this first. It's because we're going to let it dry. We're going to set it aside and let it dry. All right, I think we like that. I'm going to try to get rid of this paintbrush mark over here by, you know, giving it another paintbrush mark. But it'll all be fantastic. So I did that too, didn't I? Yeah. Now I'm going to make it worse. Actually, I think I made it better. All right. Know when to say when, right? Know when to say when. So there's my sunrise. And all I did was a water painter. Now you could use regular water and a brush and it would be fine. Any kind of paintbrush. So if you do have the water painters, they're right now it's got paint all over the inside or all over the brush. You just squeeze it out, wipe it off on a paper towel, and it should get you. You might stain your brush a little bit. Wipe off my glass mat. One of the other reasons why I love our glass mat. And I'm going to set those aside and put the lid on this. And we're going to let that dry, and we're going to go on to card number 1 officially. Okay. Card number 1. So put that aside. All right. I think we have everything dried up. So this is one I chose to do. Oh, I need an early espresso ink pad. One thing about this stamp set is you need a huge block. This is the F block. This is a large stamp, and it is red rubber. So that means it won't, the red rubber's retiring. So I don't know that this one will be phased out, but it might be phased out and phased back in. So get it inked up. I did early espresso. I trimmed mine so I could tell where the bottom of the stamp was and where the top of the stamp was, because it had a little extra. And I'm going to just stamp it. And oh, isn't that gorgeous? Love, love, love. It's so pretty. All right. So we're going to close that. Actually, we're not going to close that. Next thing we're going to do, I'm going to put my elbow in this because it's so big. I'm setting it over on the watercolor paper. So if I can't find it, I said it out loud, so chances are good I'll remember where it is. All right, I'm not going to do that. All right, so now we're going to put, I think we'll put Sending the Healing Power of Love over in this corner. Grab a block. I like to try to line it up on my stamp or my block, kind of, sort of. All right. And I'm going to go over here. And my creaky table is helping again today. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? Very quick. This one would be awesome for someone who is ill or fighting cancer or is mourning the loss of somebody or whatever kind of healing they need. Maybe they're having some mental health stresses or something. Boy, that ink pad was very juicy also. So I'm going to set that aside. I was going to do something else with this, but we're going to set it aside for a minute. Might have to take the heat tool to it. But hopefully not. I just have a standard card base. I don't have any fun folds to donate just because of the nature of the stamp set. I don't know that a sympathy card or a get well card needs a whole bunch of fanfare. I think it's just a straightforward tell somebody that you're caring about them. So be sure to say hello. Tell me what you're up to. When you see this, I should be in Utah. I was at a Stampin' Up conference earlier this week, and I am now at a demonstrator retreat in Utah with a few other demonstrators. This is not one that is put on by Stampin' Up. It is put on by a private individual, and we are having, at least I hope we're having, a magnificent time together. So I went from Vegas with my friends, and now we are in St. George. I'll go back to Vegas on Sunday to go home. So yeah, big fun. All right, is this dry enough? Boy, it's just not, and I need it dry. So one moment. I have my iPad plugged in, and I need room for my heat tool. So I am just going to dry this because I don't want it all over my embossing folder. Okay, I'm just going to add a little heat. Because it's still really shiny and I do not want to smear it. Better? Getting there. Okay, we're going to go for it. Let me put this out of the way because that end is still kind of warm. All right. So I hinted about what we were doing with this. I am going to run it through, and this is the birch embossing folder, and I'm going to, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to go have it go this way, but I want to make sure that the words aren't going to be affected really badly. Maybe that, oh, no, that wouldn't be a good place. I'm off the mat. All right, let me see here. That looks like a good one right there. Okay, that looks like it'll be just fine. So we're going to set that. Okay. And I need to grab my extra plate, my gray plate. If you have our Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, this one, it's a gray plate. If you have the old Big Shot, it might be a blue plate. Just crank it through. It's got pieces on it. I'm going to set that aside. Grab this. When I'm working here at home, I usually keep my plates inside my machine, so I don't have to play where are my plates. They're just always together. Do you keep yours together or do you keep them separate? You know what? I went upstairs a few minutes ago for a spoon, so I couldn't find it, and I knew I had one down here somewhere. I just saw where I had it. Okay, so I got it mostly done. You can see I've got a little bit of the ink from this, but that's okay. I can wash that off. I just didn't want a whole bunch. I'm going to put it over there so I remember why it's over there. Then we're going to bring this card base back in, and we're going to add some glue on the back. Add this. And this is kind of a case from, I was looking at some things. Stamp with Tammy. This is a similar one to what she did. And I just decided that it was awesome. So there's our first card. Again, I'm not going to put a lot of bling into it because of the nature of the card. I guess I could put some very soft, not really blingy. I have one in mind. Let me see if I can find it. Of course, it's the last one. The last two. Actually, I think I might go with those. These are new. They are earthy matte dots. So I don't want the sparkle, but I can add a little extra. And I think what I'll do is put a large one. This isn't the right color though. But I have early espresso on here too. So I'm just going to put a large one down here. And then a small one. And a small one. There you have it. So there is card number 1. All right. Let's see how. Oh, this is getting there, but it's not quite dry. So we're going to move on to our other card. This card, we're going to start with a piece of secrecy. And like I said, I tried to keep this class simple. 1, because of the nature of the stamp set. And 2, because I've got 1,010,000 things to do so I can go on my trip. But I still wanted something new and fresh for you guys to see. So, this one, I need to clear off my, oh, I've got the world falling down. But no, it's just the heat tool, and it turned itself on. Well, that's kind of scary. It was just the way it fell. All right, I need to clean this off. I need a new chamois. This one gets kind of stinky sometimes. I don't like stinky. All right. This stamp might do really well with the Stampin' Scrub versus just the chamois. But I don't have that close right now, so we're just doing the chamois. Okay. Now, I'm going to dry it on my pants. I know, very professional. Very professional. And then I'm going to use some Versamark. It is currently out of stock, but it will be back in, I believe. I think I saw that it was going to be back in the 17th. So if you do not have a Versamark pad, you should get one. All right, so I'm going to set that aside for 2 seconds because I forgot a step. So we're going to do some heat embossing. You can get the kit that comes with the tray, the embossing buddy, the brush, and these handy dandy tweezers. You can get this as an item for purchase at stampinup.com. And then you'll need some embossing powder. I decided to dump my white embossing powder into my into a tub, and that's what I am doing. So that's what I'm not going to use this. This works great because you can put it in there and then dump it in. Actually, I can show you how it works because it'll work wonderfully with this. So with your embossing buddy, it just takes the static out of your card. You don't need to rub it so much that it turns a different color by any means, but it's there. All right. Stampin' Buddies are also awesome for taking adhesive off the back of stickers and all kinds of other things. All right. So I've got that inked up. This is just like clear. It's like clear. It's like a glue pad. And I could put it on there and let it dry, and it would just be more of a tone on tone. But we're going to add embossing powder. So we're going to start with this. And this stamp is so big. We're going to put it on there. Smoosh a little bit. Just give it a gentle push. And then we're going to pick it up. Ooh, that looks good. Looks good. We're also going to do our sentiment. And we're going to do... Or am I? No, I'm not going to do my sentiment. Okay. Change of that plan. All right. So we're going to put this in here. And then I have my white embossing powder in here. Well, looks like I've got some crumbles. And usually I just dump it in there. But since this is big, we're just going to sprinkle it around. Like I said, I went upstairs specifically for a spoon because I wanted a spoon to do this. I see people do it this way all the time, and I've never done it. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to try it with my white. So then, actually, I'm going to be smart and dump it over here. Look at that. All right, I'm going to set it on my computer keyboard for a second. And then with this, you can just dump it, open the little, sounds like a little trap door, tap it, and you could put it back in the little jars, but I usually make a mess. So this is why I chose to try this. I've only done it with my white, so if I don't like it, I only have to live with it on my white. But if I like it, it might be what I do with my other colors as well. All right, so set that aside, bring this back in. Now, if you see, I've got, that was probably where a fingerprint was and all those things. That's when the brush comes in handy. That you just take the brush and sweep it off and away from wherever you see little specks that you don't want permanently on your card base. Then that's when these tweezers come in handy. I'm right-handed, so I'm going to hold it with my left. These are heat resistant at the top. That looks wonky for my hand, so I'm going this way. That's what I get when I have the right hand set something up that the left hand's going to do. All right. The tweezers allow you to hold it without getting your hands too hot. Like I said, the tip is heat resistant, so it won't get hot and damage your paper. Can you see it changing the color from the powder to melted plastic? All that is little pieces of, see a bit, little pieces of plastic, and then you add heat and it melts them and makes that raised image. Love, love, love heat embossing, and I love dry embossing. I love it when it just changes the texture of the paper and of the image. And you just see that heat changing. Just follow the melting. Sometimes where I think I'm aiming the heat tool isn't exactly where it's going, so just gonna have to go with the flow. Right, if you look at it at a different angle, sometimes you see something that's just a little different color, and that means it's not been melted properly yet. You can also melt it from the back side, just to double check and make sure that it gets everything where you want it. All right, turn that off. And there is that. Gorgeous. I love the white on the Secret Sea. All right, I have a white card base. This is thick because whenever I use white as a card base, I always use thick cardstock. It just holds up better in my humble opinion. All right, I'm going to turn it this way. Sometimes my bottom, depending on where I line it up at, sometimes my bottom just has a little lip, and I'll put that to the back so it doesn't show as on the front. So there we go. So you see that little lip? I'll just put that to the back. And I don't have to think about it anymore. So this is going on here. My tweezers left a little mark. This is going on here. And again, the nature of the card means that I'm probably not going to put a whole lot of bling on here. We are going to do a layer, however. Boy, my glue bottle must be getting toward the end because I have to push hard and then I get a blob. Either that or I have a clog. Yeah, either could happen. All right. All right. I made this fairly small border because this stamp is so big. It's a big one. All right, isn't that just, oh, isn't that gorgeous? All right, so with this, I am going to vary. Maybe, yes, I am going to vary it. I did pull in a different stamp set. You can use whatever stamp set you want. I'm going to do this one as with Deepest Sympathy. I thought this would be, I was going to a funeral in the winter or something. So I'm pulling in with Deepest Sympathy from the Peace on Earth stamp set. The Prairie Grass does not have Peace on Earth, or does not have a Sympathy. So I'm going to pull, I thought that would work, but that's almost too big. So I might pull something in a little smaller. See what I have in my stash. There's this. Is that too? That might be too. That might work. Or if I want a banner. Nope, I don't want a banner. I just make random sizes when I'm. If I have extra paper, I just make extra. Nope, that one's too small. Let's see here. See, I thought I had it planned out, and then I don't like it. That one might work. No, I definitely want white. Definitely want white. That would be weird to use a different color. All right, I think I'm just going to go ahead and use. There was another one. This one? Nope. All right, those are our choices. We're going to see which one we like. I'm going to use Secret Sea. Grab it. So it's all matchy-matchy. And that's a little bigger than I wanted. This would be a little overkill. This, that would fit. Or this. This I could almost put down here. I'm going to go with that one. Okay. See, sometimes your plan just goes awry. At least mine always do. Do your plans ever go awry when you think you have everything figured out with stamping? And then it's like, oh, well, that didn't work. That doesn't look like I thought it was going to look. And I know some of you go, well, that's why I do it ahead of time. It's like, I plan it out ahead of time, but not to the very end. That's why my channel was originally called Crafting with Me. Now it's Crafting with Cheryl. So you're just doing it right along with me. I had some blip in this corner. I'm going to get it off. Looks like. Yes, and I just wiped that on my pants too. I have just stretch pants, or sweatpants that I'm wearing that they're just for around the house. So I get a little water-based ink on them, and they're black. Nobody's going to care. All right, I am going to pull in some twine on this one. I think I have some. I should have some white. My white is getting very... I need a new white. I wish they sold this separately. Stampin' Up, if you're listening, sell white separately. All right, I'm going to put a little bit of Stampin' Seal across the back. And I don't want a lot of bling, but we're just going to loop it on the back. All right, anybody have any big fun for the weekend? My goal is to be home safely. And then I was told that my husband is going hunting as soon as I get home because I've left him home with the dog. And I'm sure they are having fun together because they like each other so much. All right, so there's my blob. what it'll look like on this side. I'm going to add some dimensionals on this and call it good. If you're just joining me, I do have a mystery craft class that is available for sign up. It is featuring the Light and Wonder bundle or the Lights of Aurora Suite collection. And just a little sample. This is the collection I'm talking about. So you can go to Craft with Cheryl and sign up for that, or you can see anything else that I have going at craftwithcheryl.com at any time. Everything is updated there first. So there is my sympathy card. Isn't that just, I love that in white. That's what our weeds are going to look like. Our grasses are going to look like here on the prairie with our first frost. We had our first snow this morning. So it's not going to stay, but whatever. All right, so there's card number 2. Where did I tell you I put card number 1? Oh boy. We'll put it over here with our embossing folder. Card number 1 went, oh, it's right here. Okay, we're going to put them together. Put them together. Now our next one, I don't need this on anymore. I don't think. So I don't have to worry about that. Okay, I do need to set this aside. So our next one, we have a piece of Misty Moonlight that is 4 1/4 by 11. And line it up. I am so excited that I got these done for you. And you get to have videos while I'm gone. And we're going to go ahead and add this on. This is Secret Sea. Must have just had a little blip in my glue because that time it came out just nice. Oops, and there goes the runny glue everywhere. Okay. Get everything where we want it. And now we'll set this aside and we're going to pull in our watercolored piece. If you just joined us late, we did this at the beginning of the video and now we are ready to use it. So I am just going to gently tear. Oops, I'm going to tear to the back. So have it go away from you. So unless you like those white edges, I'm not much of a fan of the white edges. And as the sun sets, it leaves the lightest at the bottom. So if you tear towards you, you get to see the white. If you tear away from you, the white is behind the tear. I'm trying to get it as close to the edge as I can because I don't want to lose base. I don't want to lose space on my watercolor paper. I want to use as much of this as I can. All right, there's that piece. And it matches the Misty Moonlight. What do you think? All right. So we're going to use a different stamp. As much as I adore this stamp, this is the showstopper. I thought I'm going to pull in some cattails and we're going to add them to our card. So we grab, I'm going to use Memento, black Memento, get it inked up very nicely because it is a silhouette in the sun or wherever, in a sunrise or a sunset. And okay, please work. All right. That did not work as well as I was hoping. All right. That is not as dark as I was hoping, but we might just leave it. Okay. We're going to try it again because I did practice on a different one. And we'll see which one we like better. I did practice my watercolor. I wanted it. Wanted it to work. Maybe I needed to push harder. What do you think? Actually, they're both about the same, and I don't mind either one of them. All right. Then we're going to use a different sentiment because we may as well. Don't know what that was about. Maybe I'll put "You're not alone. I'm here for you." Sometimes life is just hard. I think I'd rather say "I'm here for you." You're not alone. I'm here for you. That kind of works with the little branch that's alone, right? And I almost want to put more on there, but I'm not going to. Okay. Now I am going to take a different block. Maybe I'll take this one. Oh, I hope this works. Okay. I need a scrap paper. I'm going to set that one aside. That's not the one we did together, so we're going to stick with the one we did together. And I'm just going to ink up the bottom and kind of use the bottom of my stamp to kind of give a little bit more of a... This is just not liking this watercolor paper. Give it a little bit of a reflection. Kind of gumming up that bottom, aren't I? You know what we'll do instead? Okay, I don't know why they're separated, but whatever. We're going to pull in a blender pen. The blender pen will blend and give us a little bit of the same look. Give us a little bit of the bottom. Ground it. Without the stamp. And you know what else it'll do? We can add it to some of the spots that we want more color that the stamp did not give us. And I don't know, maybe it's the memento that I chose on the watercolor paper or with the water on it. Whatever. There's usually a way to fix whatever kind of goes awry. And if you just don't give up, if you just kind of keep working on it, it will all come together. And when I color, I get quiet. Sorry about that. I'm going to get my tip. What do you think? I think it looks pretty good. All right, I have some straight lines here. And we are going to go ahead and add it to our card. Now with this, I think I'm going to use, what was I going to use on this? You're not alone. I'm here for you. I don't know if it needs bling. It might just need what kind of, maybe linen thread. When in doubt, use linen thread. Isn't that like a motto? I could use black. Oh, and by the way, I used this last week and I did check and it is current. So if you fell in love with it on my last video, my last class, you're okay. You can go for it. If you can order it. That's what I'm trying to spit out. Black. Oh, let's use some black. Oh, it was just a craftable edge. Now what would I do with it? I don't want a bow. Maybe I don't want this. Okay, we're going to put it on our card. But I thought about putting it let me see. We just might not do any. You're not alone. I'm here for you. What kind of bling would you add to this? It's not a bow. I wouldn't add a bow. Or a kind of thinking of you. I know life is tough right now kind of card. Ribbon, no. Let me see about my embellishments. Or I could do a couple birds in the sky. There you go. We're going to do birds. These birds might just do one bird. All right. Do we do a silhouette of a bird? Or maybe fireflies? Maybe fire. Okay. Now you can take color your embellishments. So maybe we'll have just a shadow of them. You can color your embellishments with your lens. If nothing else, it'll take some of the shine off of them because this is not the card that we want a lot of bling, a lot of shine and sparkle. And blends dry fast. And we're going to pick them up with the take your pick tool. Set them down gently. Ooh, I like that. In case they're not totally dry, I don't want to touch the paper. There we go. Oh, I like that. Like that a lot. What do you think? All right, I am going to take a paper towel and just wipe it off of here in case there's any residual, and there was not. The bird would have been all right too, but I like that there's a solitary grass cattail, but that there's more than one dragonfly. like that card. I might move one of the dragonflies. I don't know if I like it there. Come on. There you go. And this one's the one I'm thinking might need to be moved. Pick it up gently. And I think it might need to be up here. Do you agree? There we go. Ta-da! So there's card number 3. We started at the beginning and we finished it at the end. And like I said, these are tough cards, but everybody needs them that has any kind of relationships with others, because there's always someone that could use a little prayer, a little sympathy, or to know that they're not alone. So that is my card class featuring the Prairie Grass Stamp Set. And I will be back, good Lord willing, next week on Tuesday with a mystery stamping. And I can tell you about my trip to Vegas and Utah. So until then, happy crafting, happy stamping. Remember to go sign up for the mystery craft box featuring this stamp set and paper. And go check out everything else at stampinup.com, all the new products. We'll see you later, and thanks for crafting with me. Bye-bye.